Welcome or welcome back to Solo Marvel Champion. Today I'm doing something a little bit different. I want to ask the question, what if, instead of Crossbones testing these experimental weapons, Crossbones is the experimental weapon? We're going to accomplish that with some of the cards from Next Evolution and Mutant Genesis. The experimental weapon deck seems like it's an integral part of Crossbones, but we can get around that in a really simple way. Let's start on the right side here and start looking at these modular encounter sets. The recommended sets are Weapon Master, Hydra Patrol, and Madam Hydra. Or not Madam Hydra, but Legions of Hydra. We can replace Weapon Master, which is a great set, with military grade. Military grade has a weapon in it. You do lose a couple extra activation cards by swapping out Weapon Master. But we can make up for that by swapping out Hydra Patrol with Acolytes. Acolytes comes from Mutant Genesis. All the Acolytes have Teamwork Acolyte, so you have the opportunity to get some of those extra activations back. Something fun about Acolytes is they all have a when defeated effect. So you do get this fun kind of decision point. Do you want to leave Sunyaka in play and hope that another Acolyte minion doesn't come out? Or do you want to go ahead and defeat them and become stunned? Neat little balance there. I really like this set for that. Teamwork, do you take extra activations because of teamwork, or do you bite the bullet and go ahead and defeat them and take that, that detriment? Now, the total number of cards in these two sets is 12, 6 in Hydra Patrol, 6 in Legions of Hydra. Acolytes have 7, and I'm going to maintain that number of 12 so that the encounter deck is the exact same size by replacing Legions of Hydra with Extreme Measures. Extreme Measures is fun because all but one of the minions in this set have a when revealed effect. Wild Side, you have to choose. Wild Side attacks you with 3 no less, or return the highest cost support you control to your hand. Thumbelina, when revealed, return the highest cost upgrade you control. Tempo is the one exception here. She has a benefit, you gain +1 hand size, but when she activates against you, discard cards from the top of your deck equal to twice the number of cards in your hand. That could chew through your deck really quickly. We have a side scheme. If you have a player card enter play, it deals direct damage to you equal to its printed cost. And Strobe, when revealed. Stun each character you control or deal 1 damage to each character you control. Really fun set with, in some cases, some really fun decisions. Even Tempo has a fun decision. Do you continue to get that +1 hand size and chew through your deck a lot faster, or do you go ahead and get rid of her so that you don't have to keep doing that? So that's a really fun set. Now, I did start by asking, what if Crossbones was the experimental weapon? And that also comes out of Next Evolution. These 3 sets are Telepathy, Flight, and Super Strength. We're going to randomly put one of those into play. Number 5 is this one. That's Super Strength. These 2 can go away. And we're going to replace Experimental Weapons with the Super Strength mod set. A couple things happen. Number 1, Super Strength automatically goes on to Crossbones. He now has +1 attack, and he gains Brute and Steady. Brute won't affect this because of the other encounter cards we have. But him gaining steady and a permanent +1 attack is kind of a big deal. Then we're going to shuffle these. We're just going to call these cards the experimental weapon deck. So now, anytime we have an effect that says reveal the top card of the experimental weapon deck, that one's revealed. Now this one happened to be an attachment, which all of the cards in experimental weapon are. But there are some cards that are just going to be treacheries. That's another attachment. This is a treachery. When revealed, discard the upgrade you control with the lowest cost. If no upgrade was discarded, this gains Surge. Now, this is obviously not an attachment, you just resolve it. If this was the first one that came out, you're not going to have any upgrades to discard when this comes out, so you just deal yourself a face-down encounter card. This surges into basically a face-down encounter card. I think there is one more of those, yeah. So now, Crossbones is going to play out very differently, and even more so if he got Telepathy, which gives him Retaliate, or Flight, which gives him Aerial, which isn't really a big deal because, again, the other cards in the set won't synergize with that. But Aerial, or Flight rather, also gives him Overkill. So now, not only does he have Piercing if he has a weapon out, he also gains Overkill, so that could be really, really difficult. Telepathy, as I said, gives him Retaliate. So that's a really fun way to take Crossbones, which I really do like. When I made my favorite villains video, I did say in this box I really like Taskmaster, and I do because it's a fun game, but Crossbones is really good too. And this is a really fun way to completely change up Crossbones and still kind of get the Crossbones feel out of him. We're getting Crossbones, we're also getting some mutant action out of the Crossbones encounter. So that's it today. That is the question, what if Crossbones was the experimental weapon? Let me know what you think in the comments. I think it's a really fun part of the game, not only to build our decks, but to customize and build villain decks. I don't like to do random stuff. I like to really be thoughtful and think of ways to completely change a villain that is still fun and challenging. So like, sub, comment, all of those things that YouTube likes, and I would appreciate that as well. Thank you so much for watching today, and I hope you have a marvelous day.